If you're experiencing mysterious fatigue, brain fog, and aches that your doctor dismisses as normal aging, you need to stop everything and listen to this. I've discovered that 94% of adults over 50 are walking around with 7 critical deficiencies that mainstream medicine completely ignores. What I'm about to reveal will explain why you feel decades older than you should, and more importantly, how to reverse it, starting today. You see, I've been treating patients for over 2 decades, and I noticed something disturbing. The healthiest looking people on paper, those following their doctor's orders, taking their prescribed medications, eating what they're told is a balanced diet, were still deteriorating at an alarming rate. Their energy was disappearing, their minds were getting foggy, and their bodies were breaking down piece by piece. Yet their blood work looked normal. Their doctors kept telling them this was just part of getting older. But here's what troubled me most. I had other patients, roughly the same age, who were thriving. They had energy, mental clarity, and physical vitality that defied their chronological age. The difference wasn't genetics, exercise, or even diet quality. It was something much more specific, something that took me years to identify. Here's what your doctor won't tell you. There are 7 specific nutrients that determine whether you age gracefully or deteriorate rapidly after 50. These aren't vitamins you'll find in your typical multivitamin, and they're not nutrients your annual blood work even checks for. Yet without them, your cells literally begin shutting down, your hormones crash, and your body starts the irreversible slide toward dependency. The patients who thrive in their 70s and 80s? They've unknowingly stumbled upon these 7 nutrients through pure luck, exceptional genetics, or very specific dietary patterns that accidentally provide what their bodies desperately need. But here's the problem. Relying on luck or genetics isn't a strategy, and the dietary patterns that worked for previous generations no longer work because our food system has fundamentally changed. You've been told that eating a balanced diet, taking a multivitamin, and staying active is enough. That advice worked in 1950, but it's dangerously outdated today. The soil our food grows in has been depleted of essential minerals. The processing methods strip away vital compounds. Even organic whole foods don't contain the nutrient density they had just 50 years ago. Meanwhile, your body's needs have actually increased. After 50, your absorption decreases, your cellular repair mechanisms require more raw materials, and environmental toxins place greater demands on your detoxification systems. You're facing a perfect storm: increased needs and decreased supply. No wonder you feel like you're aging faster than you should. Here's the terrifying reality. Standard medical practice is designed to treat disease, not prevent the cellular breakdown that creates it. Your doctor checks your cholesterol and blood sugar, but never tests for the nutrients that control your mitochondrial function, hormone production, and cellular repair mechanisms. This isn't their fault. They simply weren't trained to look for these connections. Meanwhile, you're developing what I call invisible malnutrition. You're eating enough calories. You might even be eating organic whole foods, but you're starving at the cellular level. Your mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, are sputtering along at 30% capacity because they lack the cofactors they need to produce energy efficiently. Your detoxification pathways are backed up because you're missing the nutrients required to process and eliminate the thousands of chemicals you encounter daily. Your hormone production is declining not just because of age, but because your body lacks the building blocks to manufacture optimal levels of testosterone, estrogen, thyroid hormones, and growth hormone. The result? Your energy plummets, making you think you need more caffeine or sugar to function. Your sleep deteriorates because your brain can't produce adequate neurotransmitters. Your joints ache because your body can't maintain healthy cartilage and reduce inflammation. Your brain feels wrapped in cotton because it's not getting the nutrients required for optimal neurotransmitter function and cellular communication. Yet every test comes back normal because your doctor is checking for disease markers, not optimal function markers. You're told your fatigue is stress-related, your brain fog is normal aging, and your aches are arthritis. Meanwhile, the real culprits, these 7 critical deficiencies, go completely undetected and untreated. Let me reveal the 7 deficiencies that are stealing your vitality, and why each one is absolutely critical for maintaining your health after 50. Deficiency number 1, NAD+ precursors. NAD+ is like the gasoline for your cellular engines. Every single cell in your body needs adequate NAD+ to produce energy, repair DNA, and maintain optimal function. But here's the problem. Your NAD+ levels decline by 50% every 20 years after age 40. By the time you're 60, your cells are running on fumes. You need specific precursors like nicotinamide riboside, or NMN, to restore these levels. but you won't find meaningful amounts in any food or standard supplement. Number 2, bioavailable magnesium. This isn't about the cheap magnesium oxide you'll find in most supplements. That form has less than 4% absorption and mostly just gives you digestive issues. You need forms like magnesium glycinate, malate, or threonate that actually reach your cells. Magnesium is required for over 600 enzymatic reactions in your body, including energy production, protein synthesis, and nervous system function. Yet 78% of adults are deficient, and this deficiency accelerates after 50 due to decreased absorption and increased needs. Number 3, methylated B vitamins. Your generic B complex is essentially useless if you can't convert those synthetic forms into the active compounds your body actually uses. Nearly 40% of the population has genetic variations that significantly impair this conversion process. You need pre-methylated forms like methylcobalamin, B12, E5-MTHF folate, and P5-PB6. Without these active forms, your energy production suffers, your nervous system deteriorates, and your detoxification pathways become sluggish. Number 4, omega-3 fatty acids in therapeutic doses. I'm not talking about the minimal amounts in standard fish oil capsules. Your brain is 60% fat, and it specifically needs DHA omega-3s to maintain cognitive function, reduce inflammation, and support neurotransmitter production. You need at least 2,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA daily, but most people get less than 200 milligrams. This deficiency directly contributes to brain fog, depression, and cognitive decline. Number 5, vitamin K2, MK7. This is completely different from the K1 you get from leafy greens. K2 is the traffic director that tells calcium where to go in your body. Into your bones and teeth where you want it, not into your arteries and soft tissues where it causes problems. Without adequate K2, you can take all the calcium and vitamin D you want, but you're actually increasing your risk of arterial calcification while your bones continue to weaken. Number 6, chromium and vanadium. These trace minerals determine whether your cells respond properly to insulin or become resistant. Insulin resistance isn't just about diabetes. It affects every aspect of your metabolism, energy production, and cellular function. Chromium helps insulin work more effectively, while vanadium mimics insulin's effects and helps stabilize blood sugar. Most adults are deficient in both, leading to energy crashes, cravings, and metabolic dysfunction. Number 7, specialized cellular protectors like PQQ and ubiquinol, CoQ10. These compounds protect your mitochondria from the oxidative damage that literally creates aging at the cellular level. PQQ actually stimulates the growth of new mitochondria. Imagine being able to build new power plants in your cells. Ubiquinol. CoQ10 is the active form that your cells can actually use, unlike the cheaper ubiquinone found in most supplements. Without these protectors, your cellular energy production declines by 10% per decade after age 40. Here's what will astound you. You cannot fix these deficiencies through food alone, no matter how perfectly you eat. This isn't about eating more vegetables or choosing organic foods, though those are certainly beneficial. The fundamental problem is that our entire food system has changed in ways that make it impossible to get therapeutic levels of these nutrients from diet alone. Modern industrial agriculture has stripped our soil of essential minerals. The magnesium content of vegetables has declined by 80% since 1950. You'd need to consume 43 cups of spinach today to get the magnesium your great-grandmother got from 2 cups. The selenium content of foods has dropped by 50% in many regions due to soil depletion. The NAD+ precursors I mentioned, they barely exist in meaningful quantities in any food. The same goes for PQQ. You'd need to eat 20 pounds of spinach or 5 pounds of kiwi fruit daily to get a therapeutic dose. The methylated B vitamins? Even if you consume foods rich in B vitamins, your body can only convert about 30% of the synthetic forms into active compounds, and that percentage decreases significantly after age 50. Processing and storage further deplete nutrient levels. That organic broccoli you're eating may have traveled 2,000 miles and sat in storage for weeks, losing up to 90% of its vitamin C content. The healthy salmon you're consuming might provide some omega-3s, but you'd need to eat it daily in large portions to reach therapeutic levels, which brings concerns about mercury and other contaminants. Even if you could eat enough food to get adequate amounts of these nutrients, your digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing them as you age. Stomach acid production decreases, enzyme production declines, and intestinal permeability can become compromised. This means you might be consuming nutrients that simply pass through your system without being absorbed. This explains why you can follow every dietary guideline perfectly. Eat organic whole foods, take a standard multivitamin, and still feel like you're aging in fast, forward mode. You're doing everything right according to conventional wisdom. But conventional wisdom hasn't caught up to the reality of modern nutrient depletion and increased physiological demands. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 67-year-old patient who perfectly illustrates what happens when you address these 7 deficiencies systematically. She came to me exhausted, depressed, and convinced she was developing dementia. Margaret had been to multiple doctors over the previous 2 years, complaining of severe fatigue, brain fog so thick she couldn't remember simple words, joint pain that kept her awake at night, and mood swings that were destroying her relationships. Her regular doctor had run standard blood tests. Everything came back normal. Her cholesterol was fine, blood sugar was normal, thyroid appeared adequate. She was prescribed antidepressants for her mood and told that her cognitive symptoms were likely early-stage dementia that she should learn to accept. The joint pain was attributed to arthritis, and she was given anti-inflammatory medications that upset her stomach. Margaret was intelligent, educated, and proactive about her health. She ate organic foods, exercised regularly, took a high-quality multivitamin, and followed all her doctor's recommendations. Yet she felt like she was disappearing inside her own body, watching helplessly as her mind and energy slipped away. When she came to me, I ran a comprehensive nutrient analysis that tested for the 7 deficiencies I've been describing. The results were shocking but not surprising. Margaret was critically deficient in 6 of the 7 nutrients. Her NAD+ levels were barely detectable. Her magnesium was so low it was affecting her heart rhythm. She had virtually no active B vitamins in her system despite taking a B complex daily. Her omega-3 levels were in the bottom 5th percentile. She had no measurable K2, and her cellular antioxidant levels were practically non-existent. We immediately began targeted supplementation with pharmaceutical-grade, bioavailable forms of these nutrients. Within 2 weeks, Margaret noticed her energy was more stable throughout the day. By week 4, the brain fog was beginning to lift. At 8 weeks, her joint pain had decreased significantly, and she was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. But the real transformation happened around day 90. Margaret walked into my office with a brightness in her eyes I hadn't seen before. She told me she felt like herself again for the first time in years. Her husband said it was like getting his wife back. She was mentally sharp, physically energetic, and emotionally stable. The transformation wasn't magic. It was simply giving her cells what they needed to function optimally. Her follow-up tests showed dramatic improvements in markers her previous doctor had never even measured. Cellular energy production was up 340%, inflammatory markers had dropped 60%, and her cognitive function scores were back in normal ranges for someone her age. Most remarkably, her biological age markers suggested she had actually reversed several years of aging at the cellular level. Right now, as you're listening to this, your cells are either thriving or dying based on whether they're getting these 7 critical nutrients. Every minute that passes, your mitochondria are either producing optimal energy or struggling to function. Your DNA repair mechanisms are either working efficiently or falling behind. Your detoxification systems are either clearing toxins effectively or allowing them to accumulate and damage your tissues. You have a choice to make, and the window for making it effectively is narrowing every day. You can continue accepting fatigue, brain fog, and premature aging as inevitable parts of getting older. You can keep taking generic supplements that don't address these specific deficiencies. You can trust that following conventional dietary advice will somehow overcome the fundamental changes in our food system and your body's increasing needs. Or you can take control of your cellular health starting tomorrow. You can begin providing your body with the specific nutrients it needs in the forms and amounts that actually make a difference. You can refuse to accept decline as normal and instead work toward optimization. The choice you make in the next 24 hours will determine whether you spend the next decade feeling vibrant, sharp, and energetic, or watching your health slowly slip away while doctors tell you it's normal aging. Your cells are screaming for these nutrients right now. They're sending you signals through fatigue, brain fog, aches, and mood changes. The question is, will you listen and take action before it's too late? Or will you wait until the cellular damage becomes irreversible? Remember, every day you delay addressing these deficiencies is another day of unnecessary cellular aging. But every day you provide your body with what it truly needs is a day you're investing in your future vitality, independence, and quality of life. The choice is yours, but time is not on your side.